Katha Mataji, would you like to try? Since you're around today.
Mataji.
Sorry?
It's okay, Mataji.
You're depriving us from hearing your sweet voice. Okay, come, let's sing together. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Everybody, Nama Om
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Vedanta Swami Iti Namine.
Namaste. Yeah, somebody singing. Carry on, carry on. I would love you to sing. Who can sing? Namaste Saraswati Devi
Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini.
Wonderful. Hurry, everybody. Namaste
Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini.
Nice. Continue, Mataji. Jaya Sri.
Forgot.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Avaita Kada Sri Vas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Very good. Jaya Sri Krishna
Chaitanya Prabhu
Nityananda Sri Avaita Kada Sri Vas Adi Gaura Bhakta
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Sharmila Mataji, Mahamantra. I noticed that you sing very well. Hare Krishna. Like that.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hari Hari.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Again. Hare Krishna Krishna. Can you do that?
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Nice.
Hare Rama
Rama
Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama
Rama Hare Hare.
One more time.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Hare Rama
Rama Hare Hare.
Everybody. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Well done, everybody. Very nice. Okay, so I hope all the Damodara festival in your home is going very well. I hope you have done your Gilam offering before our class. If not, cepat-cepat go and come back. Okay. All right. All done, huh? Okay.
Yes, all done. Morning once,
Uh-huh.
evening once.
Yeah, same. Yes. Nice, Mataji. Done, very good. Okay, so thanks to everybody who are taking part in the Damodara program. So please be consistent for the next until end of the month of the Kartik, which is 19 November. So don't forget to do the Damodara also on Deepavali Day. All the more reason for you to do. Offer your ghee lamp to Krishna. Okay, if some of your family members are not taking part on a regular basis, on a daily basis so far, for at least on the Deepavali day, so please offer Deepavali. Vali means rose. Deepa means light, so it's a festival of lights or row of lights. Okay, so it's a very important, it's very significant to offer ghee lamp, okay, to Krishna. He's the hero of the festival. Okay, you can forget anything among everything, but do not forget offering ghee lamp to Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so before we move on, I just want to share a little bit about this Damodara. So generally, we know what is the general reason we celebrate Deepavali. Anybody? From small, what we've been taught. Yi Mataji, would you know what's the reason we
Means
celebrate Deepavali? Yeah.
celebrate Daborara is Krishna when he was small. Then he is very cheeky. He break the pot of the butter when Mother Yashoda was training. Then Mother Yashoda tried to punish him and then want to tie him to the molder with a rope. Only then the rope cannot always
Short.
not enough short, not enough of length. Only at once only can tie him. Tie Krishna. Then that one is called Dabodara, means the rope of love. That one.
Bound by rope of love. Yeah.
Bound by rope of love.
Right. Thank you, Mataji. Any other reasons for Deepavali? Anybody would like to share?
Good over evil, Mataji?
Yes.
Hare Krishna,
What
good.
pastime is that exactly, Mataji? Would you like to elaborate?
Pardon, Mataji?
What pastime is that? Would you like to elaborate? Just
Good over evil.
So who's the good? Who's the evil?
That one I have to.
Okay.
Tell me, Mataji.
Nice. Okay.
Thank
So
you,
who
Mataji.
else? Thank you, Mataji. You got
Killing
the
of
point.
Narakasura.
Yeah. Sorry, Mataji. Say again.
Killing of Narakasura, is it?
Okay. Who killed Narakasura?
Krishna.
Really?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, yes. From small, this is what we've been taught. Krishna killed Narakasura, and that's why Deepavali is celebrated. I mean, honestly, I only got to know about Damodara like in 2000 plus, like that, only past like 20 years. So before that, it's always Narakasura. Narakasura died. We were happy, and then we celebrate Deepavali. Anybody would like to elaborate on the pastime? If not, I can say something about it.
Kasthuri Mataji, when I was young, right? So
Yeah.
what I knew about Deepavali is when Lord Rama kills Lord Ravana in Sri Lanka, and he comes back to Ayodhya with Sita. So all of them welcomed him with lambs. So that's why we celebrate Deepavali, because he killed the 10 heads of Ravana. And each actually depicts the 10 evil things which a human must not have, like maybe ego, and then one could be jealousy, one is like so many, like 10 heads depicts each quality a human must not have.
Yeah, we call it 10 anarthas, 10 arrogance. Yes.
That's what I know.
Nice, all correct. Okay, so the first was, like Meera Mataji said, Lord Ravan defeated Lord Rama defeated demon Ravan in Lanka. All right, and as he was returning, it was dark. Okay, so they were using aircraft and ancient aircraft. So Lord Rama's and his entourage returning from the war, they have to touch down on runway. Okay, they need a runway and it was dark. So the citizens of Ayodhya light up the whole runway with lots of diyas, lights. So that row of lights is called Deepavali. So it fell on Deepavali Tidi. Okay. Second was 5,000 years ago when Krishna was small, the pastime of Damodara itself was performed by Krishna, tying to the mortar. Okay. So since he loves butter, we offer ghee lamb because he loves butters, and that is the most easiest and very practical way for us to offer something to Krishna. Okay, so after that, the killing of demon Naraka or Narakasura, he was actually the son of Mother Earth, Bhumi Mata. Okay, so Bhumi Mata had a boon that nobody could kill Narakasura except for her. Only she can kill Naraka because that's her son, so only she can kill. But he was such an evil king, and that citizens at that area, they were filled with darkness. Okay, there were no lights in the citizens' house. They were so sad like that. Okay, so when the time comes to put an end, Krishna brings his wife, who is the Mother Earth. The queen's name is Satyabhama. Okay, I hope I'm saying the name correctly. It's Satyabhama. Usually, his main two queens are Rukmini and Satyabhama. So Satyabhama is Mother Earth. Okay, so she has to come and Narakasura. There's nobody else can kill. All right, so Krishna fought with Narakasura. Okay, Krishna brought Satyabhama there, but technically the killing was done by Satyabhama with the help of Krishna. So this is the three pastime that happened on this Tidi, and that's celebrated as Deepavali. So it's always, in Narakasura's story, it's good over evil. Also in Lord Ram's story, but Lord Damodara's story, it's love, just full of love. Okay. All right. So that's a little detour on Damodara. So now you know there are three stories on Deepavali. So when you tell children, they can tell few reasons like this. Okay. So I hope you have learned something new today. Okay, so we will move to reading the slide. I think it's Sharmila Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, can Sharmila Mataji. Yeah.
This is the slide, right?
Yes, you can see, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Understanding of Gita. After hearing Bhagavad-Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna accepted Krishna as Param Brahma, the Supreme Brahman. Every living being is Brahman, but the Supreme Living Being, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the Supreme Brahman. Param Dhamma means that he is the supreme rest or abode of everything. Pavitram means that he is pure, untainted by material contamination. Purusham means that he is the supreme enjoyer. Sasvatam, original. Divyam, transcendental. Adi Devam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ajam, the unborn, and Vibhum, the greatest.
Thank you, Mataji. These are the words describing Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So there are a few terms used here: Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Purusham, Sasvatam, Divyam, Adi Devam, Ajam, Vibhum. Okay. Param means supreme, supreme, supreme. Param means great, great, great. Okay. All right. Brahma, Param Brahma, not the Lord Brahma. Okay. This is Supreme Brahman. Some people worship Brahman, Jyoti, right? So this is referring to that Brahman. He's the source of the Brahman. Brahman means Jyoti. So if there is Jyoti, if there is a ray of light, there must be a source of light. Okay. So that source is Krishna. The effulgence is the covering of his body. So that is Supreme Brahman. Param Dhamma. Dhamma means abode, place. Okay. Pavitram. Pavitram is pure. Okay. It's a Tamil word also, so we can relate. Purusham. Purusham means enjoyer. We are small enjoyer. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Sasvatam, original. Divyam, transcendental. Divyam. Divya means transcendental. Adi. Adi means the oldest. That is Adi. All right. Devam. Okay. the Lord, Supreme Lord, Ajam and Vibhum. So this verse is taken, these words taken from this verse 10.12. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shasvatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. You are Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, Param Dhama, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental Divyam, original Adidev, unborn Ajam, the greatest Vibhum. Okay, so it's coming from here. So how do we tie? There is a link between chapter 3 and chapter 4. So here at the end, Krishna will say, surrender all your works unto me with full knowledge. Surrender with knowledge. Okay, without desire for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, you fight. Okay, Krishna says, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me. Okay, so Krishna says here, without desire for profit, with no claim to proprietorship. So any bankers you can relate, or if you have worked in a supermarket, if you've been a cashier, you will know that you dealt with so much of money, but you cannot bring even 1 cent back home. Okay, so like that, you are doing your duty without claiming proprietorship of all this money, right? Okay, and in chapter 3, Krishna is telling, perform the highest level of karma yoga, which is surrendering all works to Krishna. Okay, so we want to know, what do we need to know to do the above? Okay, so Krishna is giving step by step. To do this, right, to surrender, you are doing work and you want to surrender the result to Krishna, what do you need to know? You need to know who Krishna is. You want to do something for someone, you want to know who is that person. You would like to know this person. Okay, and this chapter is talking about how. How do I know about this person? Tak kenal maka tak cinta. Remember this term I used in level 1 as well. You want to love somebody, you want to get to know you want to love somebody, you want to get to know them. What's his name? Where is he coming from? What's his work? What does he do in the morning? What does he do in the afternoon? What does he do at night? What does he like? What he doesn't like? Okay, so we want to know about Krishna because we want to surrender our result to them. And this chapter explains this. Okay, this chapter provides this knowledge. That is why it's called transcendental knowledge. Remember, Krishna says, surrender all your works unto me with full knowledge of me. You know me and you surrender. Okay, so chapter 4 provides this knowledge. So thus we are entering the chapter transcendental knowledge, also known as Jnana Yoga. Okay, so here basically we are covering these aspects. History of Gita, how things about information about Krishna's appearance, why he descends, how he descends, when he descends. Okay, and then going into the knowledge. How do we get the knowledge? What we should do? What is the significance of Guru to get the knowledge? Are we qualified? Are we not qualified? How do we know if we are qualified? You know, these kind of things. Okay, so comparatively, you have only covered 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 verses in level 1. So here we are doing extra 2, 4, 6, 7. We are doing 7 extra slokas. So because there's so many slokas here, I may not stay long on this revision slokas. So I'm just going to breeze through. I hope you have read the PDF. Okay, so I hope you have made a quick revision. Right, these are the overviews. Transcendental knowledge about Krishna. We're going to learn about him from 1 to 10. Okay, so what are we learning here? We're going to learn about disciplic succession, Krishna's form, appearance, and activities, goal of the knowledge. So what's the point we learn all this? So we want to know why we are learning this knowledge, right? Now, how do we apply this transcendental knowledge? We're going to learn the 3 modes and the 4 divisions. We call Varna Ashrama. Okay. Okay, so on the platform knowledge, how do we understand karma? What does karma do? Where the karma takes us? Or what does it do for us to nullify these karmas? So it is called akarma. Akarma means zero karma. Okay, no positive, no negative. Finally, how this transcendental knowledge destroy our sinful reactions. So it's very important. We want to know all these goals and purpose we are learning. Okay, 4.1. Sobita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Isvakave Bravit. The personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivasvan, and Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Isvaku.
Very good. Thank you, Mataji. So here Krishna is describing the history of Bhagavad-Gita. So we can see here actually Krishna is telling that this is not the first time I'm giving Bhagavad-Gita. I have spoken this millions of years ago, and that too to the to Sun God, who is so powerful. So in that way, the knowledge has been coming down through disciplic succession, and that is how the kings have learned. So this knowledge is called Raja Vidya. So this knowledge is going from king to king to king to king. So it's like kingly knowledge. Okay, so we should understand from here that Bhagavad Gita is not only spoken about 5,000 years ago. Okay, so and furthermore, it was spoken on another planet. Okay, it's sun planet. So we might think, oh, how sun planet, can living entities stay on sun planet? Okay, we can't even tolerate 100-degree of water temperature. So can living entities stay there? Yes, just because we cannot stay there doesn't mean other living entities can't stay there. We can't breathe in the water, but fish can. So we can relate like that. So all planets have living entities. Okay. All right, so thus in that way, Krishna has spoken Bhagavad Gita originally to Sun God millions of years ago. Okay, from Sun God, Sun God spoken the knowledge to Manu. Manu means a father of mankind. Okay, after that, Manu gave it to his son named Ikshvaku. Okay, so we can understand this knowledge was always given to king lineage. Okay, why? Because through that lineage, that king will disseminate the knowledge to his people. Okay, so that's how the lineage comes. Okay, so this is the ancient history of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so we covered this in, okay, yeah, this is the sequence: Krishna to sun god, to Manu, to Ikshvaku. So this question probably will come in your quiz. So ini sudah bocor ni. Okay, so remember, right? Okay, so don't mix up this one, Manu and Ikshvaku. Sun God gives to father of mankind. The father of mankind gave it to his son. Okay, so of course these two, I don't think you will get it wrong. It's very easy. Okay, 4.2. Divya Mataji, I don't remember seeing the name here. Okay, I'm just going to read the translation. Okay, this supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. Yeah, okay, this one I explained already, all right? But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. Okay, so Lord Krishna introduced the system, all right, which is passing the knowledge from senior to junior to his, and then when the junior becomes a senior, and then he passes to his junior. So like this is a system. Okay, so just like how Lord Krishna originally spoke to Brahma, and then Lord Brahma spoke to Narada Muni, and then Narada Muni is the guru of Vyasadeva. Okay, you know that, right? And then Vyasadeva wrote down all the Vedas. Okay, he compiled it. So this way, this is an example of the disciplic succession. Okay, so the problem happened that gradually in due course time, the knowledge chain was broken. Okay, so it was lost, it was misinterpreted or lost, you know, some missing links here and there. So the important point here is that the knowledge has to be passed on carefully, without tokok tambah. Okay, you cannot minus or add or misinterpret or change, you know, no speculation inserted inside. Okay, so because if we add or take something away from that that knowledge, then the message is changed. Okay, it is not as it is. Okay, so that's what happened 5,000 years ago. Okay, so Lord Krishna came to teach the knowledge again by himself. Okay, so this is about disciplic succession. So earlier, remember, history of Bhagavad-Gita. Okay, so how the Bhagavad-Gita came down? Through disciplic succession. So why disciplic succession is so important? Disciplic succession means Guru Parampara. Okay, this is another term. Because in Padma Purana, it is mentioned that if one, okay, this part, the second half here, if one wants to advance in spiritual power, one must receive his mantras from one of these bona fide sampradayas. Okay, this one I have covered previously, the Sri Sampradaya, Madhva Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, and Kumara Sampradaya. So any gurus that are coming down in these four sampradayas, and if we take the mantra from them, then the mantra has potency. Okay, outside these mantras, there is least likely advancement is guaranteed. Okay, so if you follow these mantras, follow these bona fide sampradayas, get mantras from gurus from this lineage. Yeah, actually, if one wants to advance in spiritual power, one must receive his mantras from one of these bona fide sampradayas. Otherwise, he will never successfully advance in spiritual life. Okay, this is very heavy. He will never successfully advance in spiritual life. So we don't want to gamble with our life. So we want to ensure that we are at the right place. Okay, so this is why it's important we follow information given through bona fide sampradaya. Okay, so disciplic succession. 4.4, E Mataji.
Mataji ya. Arjuna, Arjuna uvacha aparam bhavato janma param janma viswaswata katham eta vijan niyan tuam ada protawan iti.
Nice.
Arjuna said, the sun god Vivasan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instruct these signs to him?
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So it's a very valid question. Arjuna is asking, hey, you and I same batchmate. How come you have you can give this knowledge to sun god who is so much years senior to you? Okay, so Arjuna is puzzled. How could have Lord Krishna given the knowledge to sun god? Okay, so it is duty. It is the duty of a student to put question to the teacher. Okay, so they can understand it nicely. Okay, there is nothing about you will be viewed disobedient or challenging or anything like that, impudent or things like that. So that is the duty of a disciple to put up a question to the guru. That is a service as well. Okay, so now you remember Arjuna has become a student of Krishna, and he has told Krishna, please take me as a disciple and instruct me. So because of this, Arjuna is putting intelligent questions to Lord Krishna. Okay, 4 point. Yeah, this is the doubt that Arjuna has. Next, 4.5, Guna Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Bahunimi Vyatitani Janmani Tava Charjuna Tanya Aham Veda Sarvani Natavam Veda Param Tapa. The personality of Godhead said, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. O subduer of the enemy.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So remember, our first sloka was Krishna explains the ancient history of Bhagavad-Gita. Then later he said, I have given this knowledge to Sun God, and that is how the knowledge has been passed down. And then third, we saw how Arjuna was having a doubt. How come you can give knowledge to a Sun God millions of years ago? You were born around you are my contemporary. All right. So Krishna is answering him. We have taken many births and deaths. Okay, of course Krishna doesn't take birth, he takes appearance, he appear. All right, so we take birth and we die. So Krishna says, many births we have taken. I can remember everything, but you cannot remember. So which means Krishna is saying, when I delivered the Bhagavad-Gita to Sun God millions of years ago, you were also there, you also heard, but the thing is you do not remember. This is how Acharya explained that Arjuna was always been there. Okay, but he cannot remember. So, all subduer of enemy means Parantapa. This is the term he gives Arjuna. Okay, so we move on. Okay, this is explaining about Krishna's transcendental birth versus the Jivas. We are the Jivas. Okay, let's see a quick recap. We saw the ancient origin of Bhagavad-Gita and the qualifications to receive, Arjuna's doubt, okay, and then Krishna says his birth and form is different, okay. Why is different? Because he says my birth and death are not like yours, okay. My transcendental form is unborn and never dies, and I appear by my own will, okay. He doesn't have karmic reaction for him to come and clear his karmas, no such thing, okay. He just comes and goes whenever he wants, okay. However, generally, there are some reasons why Krishna comes down. So this is what we want to see now. Harin is not here. Okay. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, oh, descendant of Bharata, okay, Bharata here, and a predominant rise of irreligion. There's a decline in religion, there is rise in irreligion. Two reasons. At that time, I descend myself. So Krishna knows when he should come, when he should make appearance, when things are not good, when good things are going down, and when bad things are rising. That time I come. Okay. So this addresses when Krishna comes. It is important for us to know this. Why? Krishna will tell later. Okay. 4.8. Jai Prabhu, are you here? Jai Prabhu not here. Okay, this is another. Okay, remember there are two reasons. Two reasons here, right? Decline in religious practice and rise in irreligion. So two reasons. And then if you expand that, there are three reasons why he comes. He wants to come here to deliver the pious, all right, to destroy the miscreants, the bad people, and to re-establish the principles of religion. So this 4.7 and 4.8 they are very important because it speaks about Krishna's appearance. This is the knowledge, okay, inside this chapter of transcendental knowledge. So the Lord comes millennium after millennium. So he just not, just not once in a year, once in 10 years. It's like that. Okay, millennium after millennium. Okay, yuga after yuga, yuge, all right. So basically, he comes here to give pleasure to devotees, to deal with people who oppose religious principles, and he also comes to personally teach the religious principles. Okay, to save the pious souls, to destroy the impious souls. I mean, he's not destroying them, to deliver the pious, to annihilate them, to destroy the bad people, okay, and to re-establish the religious principles. Okay, so he comes to teach this. Okay, so we know how he came to re-establish the principle of religion by coming and giving this Bhagavad-Gita. So this is how he does it. Okay, so not only that he spoke the Bhagavad-Gita in the battlefield, but he also shows some perfect examples of being a king, of being a son, of being a husband, of being a brother, of being a friend. Okay, he showed example like this. Okay, so this is another way he teaches the principles of religion. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is about what does he do when he comes. This is when he comes. Okay, when he comes, at that time I descend myself. This is when he comes. And when he comes, what does he do? He does these three things. Okay, you can follow up. Okay, 4.9. Jai Mataji.
Mataji, can I just read the translation?
Can.
One who knows this transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal adore. O Arjuna. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, thank you. So here, this is the goal. Why we want to learn about Krishna? Janma karma chami divyam. Janma means appearance, karma means work. When we know what does he do, when we know about his appearance, we will not take birth again in this material world. And then where do we go? We attain his eternal abode. So this is the goal. Why we want to know about Krishna's appearance and activities? Because of this. Why would I want to know when he's going to come? When he comes, what is he going to do? Why do we need to know? Because this is the reason. Okay, charma karma chami divyam. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not take birth again. All right, so let's move on. So this one a revision. I hope you all can follow. Okay, what else in? Okay, 4.10. Okay, this is new sloka today. Kala Mataji, are you there? Okay, Mataji can read.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Vitaragabhaya kruda manmaya mam upasrita bahavu jana tapasa udamadbhavam agata. Being freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. Hare Krishna
Okay,
Mataji.
thank you, Mataji. Okay, this is also the goal. Okay, so Lord Krishna is describing, what is he describing? He is describing some of the qualities we need, okay, to develop love for Krishna and to understand Krishna. So what are these qualities? Freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me, taking refuge in me. And if you have all these qualities and then you take refuge in Krishna, what happens? We become purified with that knowledge that we have. When we have the knowledge and we have all these qualities, we become purified. And when we become purified, we eventually achieve that transcendental love for Krishna. So basically Krishna is telling how to come back. This is the visa, this is the ticket, this is the passport. He's giving all these things to us. Okay, we just need to hop on the airplane. Okay, so by having more knowledge and understanding of Lord Krishna, we become more purified. But at the same time, we have to be aware that the problem of attachment, because we are always freed from attachment, is why Krishna is placing importance here, is that because we get easily attached to material things, like material relationship, material situations. Okay, so we tend to develop attachment very fast to many things. Okay, so Krishna is telling we have to be very careful to not be attached to these things. Okay, and then we also have problem with fear. Everything we have fear, like the Tenali movie. I'm fear of that, I'm fear of that, I'm phobia of that, I'm phobia of this. So we have so much of fear. Okay, and people even have fear of having a spiritual identity. You know why they think like that? Because people think, if I want to be a person again, all right, they think they will have the same problem as in material world. Means when you go back to spiritual, you're telling them, right, okay, come back to Krishna's abode, like that, right? And then they feel that if I go back to that place, the different place, I'm going to have the same problem in material world. And then they would think they were going to have spiritual problem. So this is a misunderstanding they might have. Okay, so basically this is lack of knowledge. So that's why we need to give them the right knowledge, because when you go to spiritual planets, is this anxiety free, like Vaikuntha means anxiety free. So what is the point if we are leaving material world and going to another place and we're going to have the misery? So it doesn't make any sense, right? So definitely Krishna wouldn't want us to do that. Okay, so people have this kind of fear as well. Okay, so next is anger. So anger, we can feel angry in the process of finding the genuine process. Okay, we have some intention to advance in some spiritual path, and then we will start exploring and searching, researching. So in that process, we tend to get frustrated if we end up in wrong places. It's even for my own experience. Before I come to Krishna consciousness, I went to so many. Okay, so I feel like why everything is so vague like that, it's basically it's all just moral values like that. So it just didn't hit that bull's eye to me. And then, well, it goes without saying that we also can be cheated by some people in this process. Okay, sometimes they ask money, sometimes you just spend lots of energy and time. Okay, so we can get angry because of that. All right, we become angry because so many people are around are cheaters. Okay, and of course we know that there are cheaters. So If you want to be cheated, then we will be cheated. But if you want to find a genuine teacher, then certainly Lord Krishna will help you. Okay. So yes, Mataji, the question? Yes,
You
Mataji.
said, freed from attachment. So what is Lord Krishna talking about? Attachments to what?
A lot of attachments, material relationships, material wealth, material situations. When something happens, right, you're so attached thinking about that. These are all attachment to results of the work that we are doing.
Okay.
Attachment can be anything and everything, Mataji.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it is also state, I want to get liberation, I want to get moksha. That is also attachment to desiring moksha. It shouldn't be like that. The only attachment that we should have is to do the seva unto the lotus feet of Krishna. So that attachment we have to develop. So when we develop that, we will reduce attachment to the non-permanent things.
When that's what he's trying to say is like we do our duty without without attaching our feelings to the results.
Correct. Yes. Okay, you can attach to permanent things like service to the Lord. So that gives you permanent result. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So have I covered this attachment, fear, anger? So with this, we can be fully absorbed in thinking about Krishna. Okay, and then we take refuge in Him. We surrender. Take shelter. Refuge means taking shelter. Okay, so we all want genuine goal, but there are fake goal outside. Okay, so we cannot settle immediately with that fake goal. We want to verify if that's real goal, and then you have to go on looking until you find the genuine goal. All right, we should be able to identify which is the genuine person, which is the genuine process, which is the genuine product. Okay, there are many cheaters, okay, no doubt. All right, now we have so many coming up, also keep coming up, because sometimes they do that for their survival. So we don't want to waste our time. Okay, but there are also genuine teachers, so we need to keep looking. Okay, we need to learn to recognize who is a genuine teacher. So we have courses like Guru and Disciple course here. Those who are interested to take up Guru, you will be given a course. There is a book, and then you will be given a course. I think it's like few days or few weeks course. You will be taught what kind of guru you should choose, when do you accept a guru, and when do you reject a guru. So you need to know. This is the signs. These are the red flags of a guru who is not doing his duty properly. Then we should reject that guru. Then we keep searching until we find the right guru. Okay, so all this knowledge will be given if you're interested to take up a guru. Okay, so it's not as simple as you like somebody and then you take a guru. Okay, you need to go through the process properly. Okay, so we have all that process in place. We have exams, tests, and oral tests and everything. Okay, so this is a chart here. It's called Progressive Steps for Advancement in Devotional Service. So this is where we start. First, we will have faith. Okay, practicing Bhakti Yoga, this practice of Bhakti Yoga, this is the process. All right, and we go one step by one step. You want to get to the goal. Okay, you have begin the process. Okay, and then you slowly go up the steps. So the whole process starts with faith. Okay, we have to have some faith. You have to believe that this is something worthwhile for us to embark on, that this is something that will help me. Okay, we have to have that faith. Okay, and then genuine people, usually they have questions. All right, they want to try to understand life. Okay, so we have problem and we want to understand the purpose of life. Okay, why we are here, what are we doing here, where do we go from here, what happens after I die. So they want to ask these kind of questions. Okay, so in this way you will come across something like, I don't know how you all found out about Gita Gyan. Maybe you have found it on the social media, or probably your friend have told you, or you met somebody, you met directly a devotee, and then the devotee speaks to you about it. This is all because you would have had some desire. So Krishna sends arrange this the situation, and then you ask questions to the devotees. So the devotees can help us to develop faith. So you're coming for level 1 and then level 2. So this is how your faith is developed. Okay. And then from this faith, you meet more people, like-minded people, and then you form a bond, you associate with each other. That is called, this one, not second step, sadhu sangha. So we associate with them. We learn through them, we learn how to do devotional service. We take inspirations, all right, we derive enthusiasm from them. Okay, so during this time, one can advance to taking initiation from a guru. Okay, you can accept a guru already at this stage. Okay, so with the directions of devotees, and then you already have a guru. Okay, slowly you will decrease unwanted attachments. Okay, for example, anger, greed, lust. So all this will decline. Okay, but it can be difficult, but it's possible with constant practice and determination. Okay, so when you have association of these disciples and guru, okay, naturally you will be involved in doing more devotional services like what you all doing now. You have started doing. Sorry, yeah, I'm getting a message. Oh, thank you, Mataji. Yeah, that is okay. When Mataji shared that, let me just read. Krishna sent you to me through, okay, my kids. All right, so it's probably because your inner soul have had a desire. So Krishna arranged that. Okay, so with that association, we will perform more devotional service like what you all are doing now, Damodara, at your own place. You're not going to temple, you're not doing any elaborate yagya, okay? But it's very easy to do. So you have, you can see how far you have come. You last month, you last year, and you now, okay, you are doing more service to the Lord directly. Okay, so after that, doing this devotional service, right, it will purify our heart. Okay, it will clean our heart. So when we say clean our heart, it means that eliminating these unwanted attachments and unwanted qualities like anger, greed, excessive lust, all this. Okay, so when we clean the heart, we develop steadiness. Okay, so this is called anartha nivritti, decreasing of unwanted attachments. So when we do this, we will develop steadiness. Okay, we will be, for example, we will be steadily offering Gilam to the Lord every morning, every evening. I know a lot of you are chanting every morning. You all share with me. I do every morning or every night. Okay, I do this many rounds. Okay, it's not up and down. It's always like 4 rounds means it's every day 4 rounds. If 2 rounds means it's every day 2 rounds. Okay, so that is steadiness. Okay, if you steadily doing our chantings, then you keeping up the practice, then you are here. Nishta, steadiness. Okay, after we become steady, we will develop taste. We will develop various tastes in performing Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so after you develop taste, when you develop higher taste, you will give up your lower taste. Okay, right? And then you will develop attachment to perform Bhakti Yoga for the pleasure of Krishna. You'll be very attached to do the service. Okay, so next is developing bhava. Bhava means love. Okay, finally you attain pure love, which is prema. So here the development of love starts, and here it becomes like fully blossom. That is prema. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps of Bhakti Yoga. So this is different from the 9 types of devotional service. Remember the Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, that is 9 types of devotional service. How do you do? By hearing, by chanting, by remembering, by offering worship. These are all 9 types, all right? This is 9 stages. So there is a tendency for us to get confused with this. So I'm telling now that one is 9 types. This is 9 steps. Okay, so basically this 1, 2, 3, right? This is pretty quick to do. The hardest part, right, is this one. Okay, if you have practiced something, you would have tried to do certain thing. You want to eliminate some attachments, all right, lust, greed, anger, some attachments to certain things. We may find this part is very difficult. It might like going, but then it comes back. It's like going, it's coming back. So this is happening here. We always get stuck here. But with constant practice and determination, we can overcome this. After you overcome this, the rest of it become quick. So mostly we are here, stage 3 or stage 4. Okay, this is, if you don't have these two, you won't be here listening to me. So basically we are here between these 3 and 4. Okay, so let's inspire each other and work hard, be steady, okay, on doing our daily duties, daily seva. So in Krishna, we will cross this. Okay, all right, possible by practice and detachment. Okay, we move on. Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Chaturvanyam maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagashah tasya kartaramapi mam vidya kartaramavyayam. According to the 3 modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the 4 divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer being unchangeable.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Mataji. So here Krishna is establishing he's continuing to establish his divinity. Okay, what Krishna is saying here is that these 3 modes of material nature is always playing a role in our life. Okay, and then there is this 4 levels of 4 classes of people. Okay, the work associated with them, the 4 divisions of human society. So he created. Okay, so he created the 4 classes of people based on their 3 modes. Okay, those who are very in the goodness mode, they are called the Brahmana level, which means they are into teachings, worship, prayers, this kind of thing. And those who are on a passionate mode, remember the 3 colors we learned in level 1. The 3 colors, we will not always be in one color all the time. There's always a combination. Okay, so basically those who have passion, who are predominantly passionate, they are called Satriya level. Okay, they are like fighters, armies, police, administrators, so they are in that category. Okay, and the third one is those who have mixture of passion and ignorance. So these are the people in the third one. They are called Vaishyas. So basically these are farmers. They are involved in banking, trading. Okay, so these are Vaishyas. Okay, and the final one is Sudras. Sudras means that these are the worker class. They are engaged in all kinds of labor works under the direction of the people above. Okay, so they work for the people, they work for the community, they work for the society. So the Brahmanas, they are the intellectual, they are the symbolically they are the head of the society. Okay, they like to study, teach, they spend time doing these things. Okay, they are the brain of the society. Okay, Satriya means the managers, like I mentioned, managers, administrators. So they are good at organizing people. Okay, so everywhere you go, even you go to, my Guru Maharaj say, even if you go to communist countries, when they say everybody is equal, right? You always have these 4 classes of people, but they meant to cooperate with each other to achieve the material and spiritual benefit. Both benefit, they will cooperate and achieve this together to achieve these benefits. So it's by saying that it is not true when you say one class is higher than the other. They are equal. All right, they have different duties according to their ability, according to the modes that they have. They have, these 3 modes, right? Okay, they get that work associated with these 3 modes. Okay, like Brahmana is the head, Kshatriya is the arm, Vaishya is the belly, Sudra are the legs. So they all are important. You cannot say my arms are less important than my head, so I chop off my arms. It's not like that. Oh, my leg is the least class of my body, so let me chop off my leg. So it doesn't work like that. All right, you need everything to run the body as a society. So this is important. This is Guna Karma. You see this word here, Guna Karma, qualities. Qualities means the modes, gunas. Okay, it is not Janma Karma. It's not identified by birth. Just because you are born as a son of minister, you probably be a businessman. You might not be a minister. Just because you're born as a son of teacher, you might be a minister. You may not be a teacher. It's like that. It's not based on birth. It's based on guna, qualities that we have. Okay, so what is the purpose Krishna created this? Okay, so these are different occupations and different duties for human being. So the reason Krishna created this system is not to laga these four groups. Okay, this is to gradually elevate people, human being, from animal status to human status, because not everybody, not all five ankas are same. Not everybody has the same intellectual ability, intellectual level. So they will gradually engage in the activities according to their ability and their modes, and they can elevate. Okay, so in this way they can systematically develop God consciousness. So that is the purpose. Okay, 414. Okay, there is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. Okay, one who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reaction of work. So here Krishna is giving 2 points here. He's talking about his own transcendental position, which means I don't need to do work. I don't fall in these 4 classes of men. I don't have a social responsibility. I don't have any of this. Okay, and then I don't need any results by doing that as well if I want to do. Second is, it's about one who can understand the truth about Krishna. Okay, when by one understanding this truth by Krishna, they are also not entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. When you do something, naturally you get fruit. All right, when you get the fruit, you will enjoy that fruit. In that way, you are entangled in the results of the work. Okay, when it's just like you have result, you have some success from something, a work or business or something, and then you enjoy the results. And in that process, you don't know what are we doing. We are incurring sinful reactions, we don't know. So we become entangled in that. So this is what Krishna is saying. Number one, he is above this 4 classes of people, this system, and those who know him that he is above this system will not be entangled. Okay, it's just like this example. Okay, this is about Krishna transcendental position. So this is an example how to illustrate this sloka. So there's a prisoner in a prison, and one day the king comes to visit him. Just because the king comes to visit the prisoner, that does not mean the king is obliged to the rules or regulation of the prison. Okay, sometimes the kings visit the prison, but he's not the prisoner. So like that, earlier, remember Krishna said that he comes. When he comes, what does he do? Okay, he was saying that, right? 4.7 and 4.8, right? So when he comes to this world, this is just like the king comes to visit the prison. This is a big prison that we are in, Maha prison. This earth, all right, this material world is the prison that we are in. But just because Krishna comes in, he is not obliged to do work like us. Okay, so this is an example, meeting us in the temple, in the jail. Okay, and then after he's done his visiting and everything, he goes back to his palace. So like that, Krishna comes, he just does whatever that pleasing to him, according to whatever he pleases, and then he goes back to his spiritual world. So that like that, he comes and goes like that. Okay, so and another thing, you see this elephant here. So when the king comes, he doesn't come alone, isn't it? He brings his soldiers or ministers or advisors, elephants and things like that. So like that, when Krishna comes, he also brings his entourage. He brings his close associate. When he comes down, he will bring all the devas. Can you do this role? Can you do this role? Can you do this role? So like that, so everybody put up a nice pastime to teach us some lessons. So like this, Krishna comes. Like this, Krishna arranges situations. So it's very nice that Krishna comes and goes for our pleasure to please the devotees, because to kill the demons, he doesn't have to come, right? Technically, he doesn't have to come. He can send his agents, he doesn't have to come. But the devotees only will be pleased when Krishna comes. So that one, nobody else could do except Krishna. So basically he wants to give pleasure to devotees because devotees give pleasure to Krishna. So like that is a sweet exchange. Okay, so when we know this truth, we won't be doing anything to cause more entanglement in this material world. Okay, those because just like how the followers of the king, they are not confined by the prison's rules and regulations, and then they enjoy some nice facilities, right? So like this, if we follow Krishna, then we also enjoy those facilities. Okay, so we won't be subjected to this harsh rules of this material world. Okay, so that is how sometimes when you say doing devotional service gives you liberation even in this life. You don't have to wait for you to die and then find the, having yourself woken up in a spiritual world like that. You don't have to technically wait. You can actually relish that pleasure while you are living. It's all based on how we live our life, how we purify our existence. Okay, so we move on. Meera Mataji.
Karmanya karma ya pashyad akarmani cha karmaya sa buddhiman manushyeshu sa yukta kritsna karma krit. One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is intelligent among men, and he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities.
Okay. All right. So we want to request you to listen to this carefully. Okay, this is the new verse for this level, and oftentimes people misunderstand this verse or they have difficulty in understanding this verse. So I just request your attention here. Okay, one who sees inaction in action and action in inaction. So let's see this inaction in action. Now this is the position of a devotee who is acting on the platform of Krishna consciousness. All right, he is acting, he is doing action, but his mind he's active, but he is not getting any reactions. In another word, he is not getting any karmas due to his actions. Okay, because all his actions are for Krishna. Okay, so look at this picture here. Okay, he's waking up, he's going to work, he's exercising, okay, he's working, and then he's traveling. This is traveling, exercising, he's eating, and then finally he's sleeping. This is routine. So if a devotee does all this, but his activities are centered around Krishna, for example, maybe he's prasadam, all right, or maybe after his work, the income he donates some to Krishna's temple, or uses the money to give Krishna consciousness to his family. Okay, he is doing many activities whole day, but through all these activities, if he is remembering Krishna when he's doing it, then he doesn't get any karmas. Okay, so let that sink in for a second. Inaction in action. So this does not mean you sit, do nothing, and just think of Krishna or meditate on Krishna. No. Okay, we can go on doing all these activities, and just the mind you attach in thinking of Krishna. Oh, how he ran from Mother Yashoda. Oh, how he didn't want to let Mother Yashoda tie him. Oh, how sweet he looks. Oh, how he killed that demon. Oh, that was so super heroic. Oh, look at that, how he's such a nice, deary friend of Sudama. Look at what he could do for his friendship. He gave so much of wealth for his friend just because the friend gave some cheap price. So like this, the more and more you hear about Krishna, the more you read about him, you will have more things to think of him entire day. So when you be doing this, you are baking or cooking, or you are taking care of your children, you are thinking of all these things. And then of course, It is even better when you meet somebody and you speak about Krishna to them. So your activities are purified. Your existence is purified. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Action in inaction. Okay. Action in inaction is, on the contrary, who is not in this path. All right. His situation is called action in inaction. Okay, sometimes people take the path where they want to stop all activities. All right, they decided, I got this knowledge that I am a spirit soul, aham brahmasmi. This material world is a cage, it's full of suffering. If I do things, I'm going to get the good karmas and bad karmas, and I'm going to keep coming to reap the benefit of the good karmas, or suffer for the bad karmas, weak karma, or karma, good karma. So I don't want to do any activities. And they think, if I don't do anything, then I don't get any karmas. But we already saw this in chapter 3, that it is impossible for you to do nothing and get no karma. As you are sitting, we don't know how many insects are dying under our feet. All right, even when we are breathing, there's so much of germs going into our body. All right, so that's one time when my grandma was around. I think I accidentally, I think I saw an insect on my plate and I made a big fuss about it. And she said, she said, just put aside and eat. I said, oh, how can I do that? Then she said, you know, when we breathe, she said like this, one sack of insects going into your body. I was like, what? Like that, how can you, you have one sack of insects going into your body? So that's figurative speech. What she's saying is that the germs are there in our air, in the water. So you can never not do actions. You can never not incur karma. So when we breathe, when we are walking around, all these germs and insects, they are, because we are not Krishna conscious, so we get the karma. However, if your existence is purified in this way, then you don't get karma. So it's very important, this sloka. Okay, so here Lord Krishna wants us to understand the importance of being engaged in devotional service. You will never know when you light up Damodara lamp, you don't know how many insects around are dying. Can you see? No. But because when we are doing the service for Krishna, it's not for our sense gratification, and it is recommended in the scriptures, and the conversation in the scriptures are among highly elevated personalities, not just an ordinary human being. So we will not get reactions for that. All right, we do all kind of activities like this here, and because we do in the mood of Krishna conscious, that is why the consciousness is very strong. Actually, it's not as light as it's seen. Guru Maharaj, when he gives advice to me, finally he will end, be Krishna conscious. The consciousness is very important. Okay, so if we are very conscious about Krishna when we are doing these activities, we don't get any karma. So we have to train our mind to think of Krishna. Okay, so this is important. Lord Krishna is encouraging that, encouraging Arjuna that even when you fight, you have to be conscious about me. He's saying, even though Arjuna is doing activities, especially technically the killing, right? He will not get reactions. There are no karmas. So this is the intelligence. To understand this fact is intelligence. Okay, is intelligent among men, and he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. Okay, so inaction is Krishna consciousness. Okay. Oh, this, yeah, this is coming up late. This is important, okay? 4.24. Okay, Naveen Prabhu is not here. Let me just read the translation. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to the spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute, and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. See, the words a bit very bombastic, right? Okay, so basically, to make it simple, Krishna is saying that everything that is being offered to Krishna is spiritual. Okay, whatever you use for the pleasure of Krishna is spiritual. Okay, even before you offer, it is considered spiritual. And after after you offer to Krishna, that is also spiritual. Okay? A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute. That which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. That which is offered is spiritual. After you offer is also spiritual. Okay, so one who is in consciousness of dedicating everything to Krishna is sure to go back to Krishna. Okay, so that's about this verse. Okay, 34, Roja Mataji.
Tadvidi prani patena pariprasnena sevaya upadikshyanti yanam janani nas tatva darsina. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So this is a very important verse. How to receive the knowledge. So the role of Guru comes here. So Lord Krishna is describing revision sloka. Yeah, it should be familiar now. So Lord Krishna is describing how to approach a spiritual master. How? Humble, meek, all right? And then you inquire, meaning ask questions, and then you serve. Okay, so how do you serve? By asking questions. Okay, or if it's physically, we can cook and give prasad for the guru. We can wash the clothes, iron the clothes. And if the guru needs travel planning, so travel needs, we do the planning. Okay, so if we can't do anything, at least we should put forth some questions. Okay, of course dakshina is also there. Okay, but a true guru would like to clarify disciples' doubts and questions. Okay, and if, like for my Guru Maharaj, if you don't ask question, then he wouldn't like it. He wouldn't like it. But when you ask question, then you say thank you for your question, good question. He will really appreciate those questions. Okay, so in return, the spiritual master will answer the queries and give the student spiritual knowledge, and then he will make sure, do you get it? Do you understand? You'll make sure that you understand it. Okay, if not, he will simplify it until we get it. So spiritual teachers are very kind. Okay, they are very expert. They know different levels of their students. So in that way, they are very kind. Okay, let's move on. 35. Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. What is this illusion? For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. Okay, what is this knowledge? What knowledge are we getting from this Guru? Okay, so without the knowledge from the Guru, we think we are this body. Okay, so the teacher's role is to teach us that we are not this body. We are the spirit soul. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We are not independent. We are individual spirit soul, but we are tiny spark of the big fire of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so we should not stop by understanding that we are spirit soul. Okay, aham brahmasmi. Okay, end of the story. No, it's not that. A step further is to know where do we come from. Who is the bigger fire? We are just a spark. Okay, fine. Now who is the big fire? So we want to not only understand that we are spirit soul, we also must understand that there is Supreme Soul, and we want to know, and that there are two souls in our heart. Okay, some people, they think that they are soul, and therefore they think they are God. Then they'll say, you are God. It's something like that, right? You are the soul, and because you're part and parcel of God, and you are God, you are also God, or you can also become God. These kind of theories they have. So that is incorrect. Okay, living entity is just a tiny part of the Supreme Soul. It is the Supreme Soul who is the complete whole. So no matter how many small part come from him, he always remains a complete whole. So this verse is in Ishopanisad. Okay, so later I will share. Even though so many parts come out from him, he will always remain that Purnam. He is a complete whole, and we are just tiny part of the complete whole. Okay, so this way the spiritual teacher will help us to awaken the knowledge and understand our relationship with the Supreme. So if we follow this instruction from the spiritual teacher, we will never again fall into the illusion, which is the illusion that we are independent soul, we are the material body, we are the enjoyer. Okay, so we always see us in the relation with Krishna. Okay, so what happens when we get knowledge from the self-realized soul? Okay, this is the point, right? When we get the realization, we get the knowledge from the realized soul, we will not fall back into the illusion. Okay, so this is the knowledge, yeah? This chapter is about transcendental knowledge. And what does this knowledge do? It will not allow us to go back into illusion. So, Hiya Mataji, how do I know if I'm qualified to get this knowledge? I'm so sinful. Don't know what all I did in my life. Don't know what all I did in my past life. How do I know? Maybe I'm not qualified to get all the knowledge. What is the knowledge? What is the qualification? Let's see. Shanti Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, even
Yes.
if, can I just read the translation,
Yes,
Mataji, please?
can. Yeah.
Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you'll be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Hare
Yes.
Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is the benefit of receiving the knowledge. By mercy of the spiritual teacher, we get the transcendental knowledge. So question is, can everyone benefit from this knowledge? Here Lord Krishna describing even the worst sinners. What you have to do, you just have to sit on the boat. It's very easy. Just sit on the boat, and the driver, what do you call that? The boatman. The boatman will take you across. Who's the boatman? Who's the boatman?
Krishna
Okay.
and spiritual master.
Yeah, that's more accurate. So Krishna is giving us nice example here. So if you have a boat, you can cross an ocean. Generally, when you have a boat, you can cross an ocean. But when you have the boat of transcendental knowledge, then we can cross the ocean of material misery. So our ocean here in this material world is not made of water per se. So what is this ocean that we are trying to cross? It's the ocean of material miseries, the ocean we are floating in, trying to swim, trying ourselves not to drown, not to bloop, bloop, bloop. This is ocean of material miseries. And Krishna said, and do I need to know how to swim? Oh my God, I don't know how to swim. Can I come with the float? Krishna said, just sit on this boat. You can cross the ocean of material miseries. No qualification. Okay. There is a qualification. There is a requirement. I will tell you later what is the requirement. Okay. All right. So we need to understand that even one who is a sinner, okay, you don't expect the sinner to go on sinning, isn't it? So when we are a sinner, we sit on the boat. So once we get the transcendental knowledge, we will not remain as a sinner. So that is the magic of it. We will gradually act in such a way, regulate our life, purify our existence, that we will give up on our sins. Remember, what is that famous quote? Who can remember? Every saint. Can anybody remember? Shanti Mataji, Meera Mataji. Every saint. That's general knowledge. It's a famous quote.
As a pass.
Yes. Next line. Every sinner.
As a future.
As a future, yeah. So there are two benefits here. You avoid sinful activities, and by engaging in devotional service, it will remove the whatever sinful reactions we have accumulated. This is the benefit. Every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. Means everyone deserves a chance when you sit yourself on this boat of transcendental knowledge. Okay, someone can be a saint now, but previously he would have had committed sins, but now no more. All right, someone can be a sinner today, but they don't need to remain a sinner forever. So you just need to take the advantage of transcendental knowledge. They can overcome the miseries of material life. All right, so in this chapter, Krishna is giving us the transcendental knowledge to save us from miseries of life. Okay, so let's see what qualification we need. Technically, we don't need any qualification, but we need to do. Takkan you sit on the boat and then you want to jump out, right? No, right? So what is required? What is a requirement? A faith. A faithful man. Look at this, faith. Remember that 9 stages of faith. It starts with faith. Okay, you need to sit on the boat with the faith that the captain or the boatman is going to take you across. If you keep doubting him, then you're going to stay this side. You're not going to doubt your pilot who's going to take you from one country to another. You are getting on the plane because you have faith, all right, on the pilot. A faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge. You got to have faith, and then you want to dedicate in acquiring this transcendental knowledge. Remember the 9 stages, you start with faith, and then you have sadhu sangha, which means you associate with devotees, and then with their guidance you engage in devotional services. So that's because you want to act. You're not going to sit idle. So with faith, who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses, remember, anartha nivritti, you're going to reduce your attachments, is eligible to achieve such knowledge. So, and having achieved this, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. He will attain peace if he has these qualities. Okay. Okay, there is an extract from a purport here. Let me read. One is called the faithful man. Oh, we want to know what does faithful man means. Who thinks that simply by acting in Krishna consciousness, he can attain the highest perfection. This is the faith. Simply by sitting on the boat, simply boarding the plane. Okay, and under the guidance of spiritual teacher means following the instructions. So when you follow the instructions, so be assured that you will be on the right path. Okay, so you will have this transcendental knowledge, subdue the senses. Okay, you attain the perfection, attain the destination. So this is the result. This is about who is qualified and what is the benefit. Result of cultivating the transcendental knowledge. Okay, this is the result. So the point is not only receiving the knowledge and then you do nothing about it. It's to conquer and control the senses. So this way we can get highest peace. Okay, we are at the end now. Recap. So can anybody tell me what we learned in the first section of this chapter? Let's see.
How Krishna is described as is a Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Purusham.
Okay, very good, Mataji. Okay, and then as we enter chapter 4, what did we learn? We want to surrender our result. We want to work and surrender the result to Supreme Lord. And to surrender our result to the Supreme Lord, we need to know who is He. All right, so that's how chapter 3 brought us into chapter 4. So chapter 4 gave us knowledge about Krishna. So what did we learn in the beginning?
Those who know my transcendental nature, upon leaving the body, he will attain my abode, my nature, my activity and need.
Okay, very good. But we haven't come to that yet. First, our first sloka. First sloka.
The ancient history of Bhagavad-Gita.
Yes, the history of Bhagavad-Gita. And then the disciplic succession. And then when Arjuna asked him, how can it be possible? You are my contemporary. How could it be possible that you have given this knowledge to a sun god who is senior to you many millions of years? And then Krishna says, we have taken many births in the past, but you don't remember. I remember. And then application of knowledge. So when Krishna comes, okay, when Krishna comes to the material world, He is not bound by any kind of systems or rules. So in this sense, what did Krishna give? What knowledge Krishna gave here? Can you remember? How did he relate?
You mean he came down to deliver the piousness, destroy the miscreants?
Okay, this was covered here.
Uh,
So after that, we went into something like something system-based thing.
you mean the bona fide of sampradayas?
Okay, that is also here.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's the 9 stages. Is it?
Okay, yeah, okay. Up, some more? Matajis.
The attachments like anger.
The 9 steps.
9 stages, okay. All right. Some more? There's something that he say, okay, see, Krishna comes here to the world, right? Because there are times where he comes, okay, rise of irreligion, decline of religious practice, and then when he comes, what does he do? He deliver the pious, he destroy the miscreants, and he re-establish the religious principles. Example, giving Bhagavad-Gita like this, okay, this is the kind of activities he does. Now, when he comes to this material world, he says that he is not bound by something. What is that?
Attachments.
No. Matajis. Try. The classes, remember the classes?
Oh yeah, the 4 Brahmas, the Vaishnavas.
Yeah. So what does he,
Yes.
what did Krishna say about that? And then there was an example.
Not everyone has the same level of knowledge.
Okay. And they are performing their occupations based on the modes that they acquire. Okay. Now, how do we relate to the story of the prison? Prison, the king's story.
How the king comes to prison with the elephant. So
Okay.
that's how Lord Krishna also comes down to the earth with his abodes.
His entourage. Okay. That's the point number 2. Point number 1 on that example.
We are all in a terrible prison.
Okay. So when Krishna comes to this prison, he also subjected to the punishments, rules and regulations?
No, he is not.
No.
Why?
Because he is the supreme.
Yeah, I feel like you all want to strangle me, right? Yeah, see, if I don't ask questions, I don't know whether what I spoke. Right, so the Varnashrama is meant to elevate people from animal status to human status, and then the next level is for them to gradually attain God consciousness. But so this is applicable for human beings in this material world. So when Krishna comes, whenever he comes to destroy the miscreant, to re-establish the principles of religion, so he's entering the prison as well. But is he entering the prison as prisoners like us, or he's entering the prison like the king? So he's actually entering the prison like the king. Okay. However, so just like how Krishna is aloof of these rules and regulation, a person who is in Krishna consciousness is also aloof to all these divisions. You and I, when we are becoming Krishna consciousness, you are not a Kshatriya, you're not a Vaishnava, you are not a Sudra. We are beyond these 4 classes. Okay, so that is what Krishna is saying. We won't be disturbed by these rules and punishments, rules and regulations. Okay, we will be aloof. Okay. Next, what was that important thing that I say? Pay attention.
In what? Inaction.
Okay, what does that mean, Mataji?
Okay, inaction is actually
which one you're saying now, Mataji? Action in inaction or
no,
inaction? Inaction in action.
Correct.
Okay.
This is Sri Krishna consciousness. That means, you do your duties, but during the performing or during your duties, you when you think of Lord Krishna, you have achieved salvation.
So you do not have karmic reactions when you
Yes,
when you perform activities, but your consciousness is about Krishna. You do
Krishna.
not have sinful reactions. Okay. Next, on the contrary, anybody? So Meera Mataji already explained one part. Can I hear from anybody? Someone else? What is inaction in action? Sorry, action in inaction. You can relate this to renunciation, premature renunciation. You can try to speak. If it's inaccurate, I can correct it. If you don't speak, you'll never know how much we understand. Anybody would like to try? Jai Mataji. How do you explain action in inaction?
If you don't do any work, if you don't do any action, you also have to receive the action. Also have to receive the result.
Yes. Correct. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, betul. Okay, next, the benefit of this transcendental knowledge. There are 2 slokas that we covered under this section. Can anybody recall what are the 2 things that we covered here? I'm sure you won't go wrong if you can really recall. What is that important thing that we saw? Can anybody recall the verse on the Guru?
Because the transcendental boat to help you to cross over the
ocean of miseries.
The ocean.
Yes.
Misery ocean of misery.
Ocean of material miseries. Okay, so where do we get the knowledge from? So that one sloka is missing here now.
From our spiritual master, the really.
Yes, we need the Guru. Being situated in this boat of knowledge saves one from miseries. So another important point is that the qualification is no qualification. No matter how sinful a person is, when he sits here, he can cross the ocean of material sufferings. So if you're sitting on a boat, definitely you will follow the instruction of the captain. So the captain is the Guru. He'll bring us to Krishna. Okay.
Mataji, one more question.
Yes, Mataji.
Sorry, action in inaction. Can you explain it again?
Action in inaction. Okay.
Correct.
As we, do you believe if we do not do anything and just sit and do nothing, we do not incur karma? It's not possible, right? Because when you're sitting, you can't say you're not doing anything. We are at least breathing, right? When we are breathing, we don't know how many, like a very basic example, we don't know how many germs and insects we are breathing in, we are killing. Okay, so there is no way a person can be fully renounce things, because this is what Arjuna wants to do. He wants to renounce and flee the battlefield. So Krishna says, you fleeing the battlefield is not the right renunciation. It's rather you do activities and the result you surrender unto me. So that is inaction in action. You are killing, but you are not getting reactions. Whereas you renounce and you go away, you are not doing anything, but you are incurring sinful reaction because you are not doing your duty. So you are not incurring sins by fighting, but you are incurring sins by not fighting. So that is action in inaction. So to make it easy, I would suggest that when you see the word inaction means premature renunciation. So when you prematurely renounce things, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I'm just going to sit because I'm a spirit soul. So it is not possible for us to not incur any reactions. There's always reactions. So we have to only purify our existence. So that is the way. because Krishna also said, the acharyas also say, if you go to the cave and then you will be thinking about your palace, about your family, about your children, about your wife. So that is not total renunciation. So you might as well do your work, but you be Krishna conscious and you don't get reactions.
Okay, okay.
Is
Thanks,
that all right,
Mataji.
Mataji?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Okay, actually our temple, okay, I'll just stop sharing now. Our temple is open already. So everybody can start going to temple if you want to go. If you are going, please let me know. I also can come and see you. Okay, so that is, I think, limited time, like 2.5 hours like that. So you just queue up. It should be double vaccinated. You should be double vaccinated. And then you go in, you wash your leg, you go in, they'll have this, the lane for you to scan and everything. You go in, you take darshan. There will be arrows and everywhere. People will be guiding you. And then you come out, I'm not sure they are giving charna murta already or not. You come out, there's packed prasadam. You can take that and then you can come back. So I don't think they allow us to sit around chit chat so much in the temple area. I think the bookshop is also will be opened. So it's a great chance for you all to go and take darshan from Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. After so long, you can go and see them. Okay, any questions so far, Matajis? So we won't be meeting for the next 2 weeks. Weekends are where we catch up on all our work. And then the following weekend also probably will have some post-Deepavali celebrations. So we'll have class for 2 weeks. So we'll resume the following week. Okay, Matajis, any questions?